Now, y'all, I want you to just stop whatever you're doing right this minute. Don't you dare scroll past this moment. Don't let your fingers swipe away from this screen, because what's about to unfold in these next few minutes ain't by chance. No, sir. This ain't no coincidence, no algorithm, no stroke of luck. Archangel Michael himself is standing right at the doorstep of your life right now, and the words you're fixing to hear were sealed up high in heaven just for this very moment, this exact hour, for your very soul. You were chosen out of millions, millions upon millions, who could have stumbled upon this message today. It's you here, and that alone ought to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. God looked over the whole sea of humanity and pointed right at you. He whispered your name into the ear of his mightiest warrior, and Michael came down with a sword of fire in one hand and a scroll of destiny in the other. That scroll's got your name written clear as day. Not a nickname, not some title, but the name your spirit carries for all eternity. The one spoken before your mama even knew you were growing inside her. Feel that trembling in your chest? That ain't no anxiety, and it sure ain't fear. That's recognition. Your spirit's hearing the frequency of heaven touching your atmosphere. Something shifted the very second this video started playing. The air around you changed. That darkness that's been hovering over your home, your money troubles, your health, your relationships, it just flinched. It knows what's coming. It knows this message carries a heavy, precise, powerful anointing meant to shatter every chain, every curse, every generational pattern that's kept you stuck in that dang almost land. You've been living in the land of almost for too long, almost healed, almost free, almost prosperous, almost at peace. But today, Archangel Michael draws that sword and slashes the word almost clean out of your story forever. This here is your day of completion, your day of fulfillment, the very moment the universe has been holding its breath for. And if you stick with me till the very last word, I promise you'll walk away from that screen a whole different person than the one who hit play. I know what you've been carrying. I know the weight sitting heavy on your shoulders when nobody's watching. I know about those nights you lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering if God done forgot about you. I know about the prayers that felt like they bounced off the walls, hitting the floor like dead letters. I know about the betrayal that cut so deep you ain't fully exhaled from the shock yet. Somebody you trusted, somebody you loved, somebody you gave pieces of yourself to looked you right in the eyes and chose to wound you the most precise way possible. They knew exactly where your heart was softest, and they drove that knife right in. And the worst part? It weren't just the pain itself. No, it was that you saw it coming. Something inside whispered a warning months before it happened, but you ignored it, because you wanted so badly to believe the best in folks. You wanted to believe loyalty still meant something, that love still counted, that your sacrifices would be seen and rewarded. But instead, you met indifference, cold silence, doors slamming shut so hard it made the walls of your faith crack. You've been walking through a season where nothing makes sense. Money comes in and slips through your fingers like water. That job you thought was going to be your breakthrough turned into another cage. The relationship you hoped would bring healings brought a wound you ain't even got a name for. But through it all, you kept showing up. You kept praying. You kept believing even when faith felt foolish as a summer rain in a drought. You chose faith over bitterness, and you know what the enemy hated most about that? He hated that he couldn't break you. He threw everything he had at you, and here you are, bruised but not destroyed, weary but not defeated, crying but still calling on the name of the Most High, and that refusal to quit, that stubborn, relentless, almost crazy decision to hold on. That's exactly why heaven set their mark on you. That's why Michael was sent. 'Cause you proved something to the courts of heaven most folks never do. You proved your faith ain't for sale. You proved your devotion don't come with conditions. You proved you'd rather crawl through the darkest valley whispering God's name than stand on some mountain of comfort built on compromise. Now I need you to understand something the enemy's been working overtime to keep from you. What you see with your natural eyes, that ain't the whole picture. The struggle, the lack, the confusion, the loneliness, that's just the surface of a way deeper spiritual battle unfolding in places your human mind can't fully grasp. Right now, at this very moment, the armies of heaven are moving on your behalf. Michael didn't come alone. He brought legions, warriors of light, whose one job is to tear down every dark structure built round your destiny. Picture this in your spirit. In the unseen world round your physical one, there's been a fortress, a dark stronghold built by the enemy over years, sometimes generations, made to keep you from stepping into the fullness of what God's got ready for you. That fortress got watchtowers of fear, walls of shame, gates of rejection, and a moat filled with the tears of every ancestor who almost broke through but got pulled back at the last minute. The enemy built it because he knows what you carry. He knows the call on your life. Or he knows if you ever fully wake up to the power inside you, his whole operation in your bloodline falls apart. So he spent decades trying to keep you small, distracted, convinced you're just ordinary, when truth is, you ain't ordinary at all. But here's what happened. When you hit play on this video, a signal shot up to the heavenly courts. It wasn't no casual signal. It was a covenant moment. Your willingness to receive this word activated a clause in the spiritual contract God wrote on your life before the world was even made. And Michael got the order, clear as a bell. Tear it down. Tear down every wall, every watchtower, every gate. Fill that moat in. Burn the foundation to ashes and salt the earth so no darkness can ever rise there again. And that's exactly what's happening right now as these words reach your ears and sink into your spirit. You might feel a pressure in your chest, heat in your hands, tears welling up you can't explain. That's demolition in progress. That's that fortress falling. That's years of chains being smashed to pieces by the fiery sword of the most powerful archangel ever made. Now I gotta share something important because this moment calls for it. Everything you're hearing ties into a deeper truth that nearly got lost, a truth about the 7 swords Archangel Michael carries, each one cut in a specific chain in the life of the chosen. This wisdom's gathered in a sacred digital book called The 7 Swords of Archangel Michael, the sacred guide to breaking curses, sealing blessings, and activating the calling of the chosen. This ain't your everyday read, no sir. Now listen here, this ain't just any book. It's a mighty spiritual weapon wrapped up in words and pages. When you crack it open, something awakens deep down in your spirit, something that can't be undone. The link to grab this digital book? It's pinned right at the top of the first comment below this video. I want y'all to understand, this here content shakes up stories that some folks would rather keep buried. And believe me, there's been plenty tries to hush it up. But it's still here because what God sets in motion ain't nobody can stop. So go on now, type in the comments, I am chosen and I will download the digital book. Say it like you mean it, an act of faith, a declaration before heaven and earth. Then follow through, because the next level of understanding demands you arm yourself with what's inside those pages. Now pay close attention, because what I'm about to share will change how you see all you've been through. That heavy burden you've been carrying, the weight that made you doubt your worth, it wasn't because God abandoned you. No, sir. That was the heat of transformation. You weren't being punished, you were being shaped. Every tear was a drop of that heat. Every betrayal, a hammer blow. Every night you lay awake, that was the bellows stoking the fire. And what comes out of that fire ain't no victim. It's a weapon in God's hand. You ain't fragile, you ain't breakable. You're steel tempered with grace, and the enemy knows it. That's why he fought so damn hard to make you quit before now. 'Cause if you made it to this moment, to this message, to this truth, his hold on you is done. And here you are, standing tall, against all odds, against every scheme, against every lie, whispering that it's over. You made it. And now, the authority God gave you from the start is coming alive. Can you feel it? That's not just feeling. That's a power shift in the spirit world over your life. Where the enemy once sat on the throne of your destiny, Archangel Michael is booting him out by force. That fake authority is being stripped away, and you, true heir, are taking your rightful seat. From now on, when you speak, things will move. When you pray, heaven will answer quick as a whip. When you decree, it's done, not because you're perfect, but because you survived the fire and showed what you're made of. What's heading your way now is so big, so overwhelming. It'll take your mind a minute to catch up. Your money's about to be reshuffled in a way that breaks every rule this world knows. Doors that were locked down tight. God's breath is blowing them wide open. Behind those doors are blessings, connections, and opportunities with your name on them. Money that was taken from you, it's coming back multiplied. Lost deals, they're getting rewritten with better terms. Ideas folks swiped from you, they're going to fade out while your original anointing comes back stronger than ever. Your body's getting a divine tune-up now. That pain you've been living with, that diagnosis you feared, that weariness settled deep in your bones, all of it's getting overruled by a healing power Archangel Michael carries just by being here. When Michael steps into a place, sickness don't stand a chance. Disease bows down, chronic illness loses its grip, and I'm telling you, Michael's stepped into your space right now, walked through the walls, past the barriers, standing right there where you're hearing this. Your health's being reset to how God made you before any curse, any family weakness, any poison had a chance to mess with it. And your relationships? Lord, they're about to blow you away. Folks who laughed at you, who watched you struggle with a smirk, who whispered behind your back you'd never bounce back, they're fixing to see your rise with their own eyes. They won't have no explanation, 'cause there ain't no earthly reason for it. It's straight up supernatural. It's God's justice answering every secret prayer you prayed. It's heaven's promise being fulfilled in your darkest hour. I gotta pause and tell you something urgent. The truths you're getting now, they're part of a bigger picture, deeper than one message can hold. The 7 swords of Michael ain't just stories. They each got a name, a job, and a way to call them forth. When you learn how to use each one, you step into a kind of spiritual power few ever reach. That's exactly what the digital book, The 7 Swords of Archangel Michael, lays out in detail. Inside, you'll find swords that cut financial curses, break soul ties draining you, open blocked blessings, and seal your home against attacks. The link's pinned in the first comment below. Don't let this moment slip by. Type "I am chosen" and I will download the digital book in the comments, then head straight to that link. The folks who tried to bury this don't want you to have it, because they know what happens when a chosen one is fully armed. Now hear this. There's a date marked on heaven's calendar with your initials beside it, and it's closer than you think. In this very season, in this cycle turning, something is coming that'll prove every word you're hearing right now is true. It might show up as a call at an impossible hour with an offer you never dreamed. It might be a knock on your door from someone bringing an answer to a prayer you forgot you even prayed. It might be a number in your bank account with no good explanation. Whatever it is, you'll know. Your spirit'll leap and you'll say, "That's it, that's the confirmation. That's proof you ain't forgotten, never were, and every second of pain's been counted and is now paying off with interest. The days of barely getting by, they're done. The days of just enough, shut tight by angel decree. What's opening now is the season of overflow, not just enough, but more than you can hold. So much you'll need to make room, so much you'll need to grow to receive it, so much you'll look back at this moment and cry tears of thanks, 'cause you almost gave up right before the flood came. The enemies of your destiny are scattering as you listen. Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Every bad word spoken against you is being silenced. Every evil plan spoken in secret meetings, jealous talks, dark rituals by folks who envied your anointing, it's all being reversed and sent back to him. Michael don't bargain with darkness, he defeats it. He don't bargain. He don't meet no middle ground. He rolls up with the full power of God's throne behind him, laying down judgment with absolute surety. And let me tell you, that judgment today, it's on your side. You're standing right at the doorstep of the biggest change your family's ever seen. This ain't just about you, no, sir. This is about every generation that's fixing to come after you. The curse ends right here. The poverty mindset stops right here. The cycle of broken kinfolk ends right here. The sickness that's followed your family like a shadow stops right here, right now, with this very word, by the authority of Archangel Michael, acting on direct orders from the Almighty himself. Now you might be wondering why you got picked for such a mighty intervention. Maybe you look at your life and think somebody else is more worthy, more spiritual, or better prepared. But that's just the devil's last trick, making you feel like you ain't good enough for what you were born to do. God don't pick like folks do. He don't check no resumes or credentials. He looks right at your heart. And what he saw in yours was rare, precious, powerful, so powerful. He sent his chief warrior to make sure nothing stops you from stepping into your full destiny. You ain't no afterthought. You ain't no backup plan. You are the plan. You are the chosen one. You are the one Michael was sent for. So take this in with all you got. The digital book, The 7 Swords of Archangel Michael, is your companion for this very revelation. It was made for this moment in your walk. Inside, you'll find prayers to activate, declarations of authority, and the know-how to wield each of those 7 swords Michael's putting in your spiritual hands right now. This ain't something you'll find anywhere else, 'cause it was delivered with a prophetic urgency that demanded it be put together just so. The link's in the first pinned comment right at the top down below this video. Head there after this message and claim your copy. Write in the comments, "I am chosen and I will download the digital book," and let that declaration ring through heaven like a trumpet, showing you're ready to receive all God's got stored up for you. Now I want to call you into position, because everything that's coming next needs your full participation. Faith without action is like a seed without good soil. You heard the word. You felt God's hand moving in your story, but now you gotta respond. And that response starts with a decision. Decide right now, not later, not when you feel ready, not when things look better, right now, that you'll never again live beneath what God's called you to. Decide that old version of you, the one who settled for crumbs when a feast was ready, the one who apologized just for being, the one who shrunk down to make others comfortable. That version is done. It burned up in the fire you just walked through. The person walking away from this message ain't the same one who walked in. You're new, you're recalibrated, you're tuned to heaven's frequency, and from that frequency, miracles ain't the exception. They're the norm. I want you to put your hand on your chest right now. Feel that heartbeat. That rhythm ain't random, that's the drum of purpose beating inside you. Every beat's a declaration. I am alive, I am chosen, I am protected, I am provided for, I am healed, I am free. Let that rhythm be your anthem. Let it drown out every voice that ever told you was too much or not enough. Let it overpower every memory of rejection, failure, or shame. Your heartbeat is God's way of saying He ain't given up on you. And as long as it keeps beating, your destiny's alive and your breakthrough is sure as the sunrise. Now raise your hands wherever you are. Don't matter if you're on a bus, sitting in your bedroom, at your desk, or parked in a lot. Raise your hands, because this here's a moment of surrender and receiving all at once. You're letting go of that old story and taking on a new one. You're surrendering pain and receiving healing. You're surrendering lack and receiving abundance. And as your hands go up, Michael himself seals a hedge of protection round you that nothing can break through. No witchcraft, no jealousy, no evil eye, no generational curse, no demonic attack can cross that line being drawn round your life right now. You're sealed, you're marked, you're untouchable by the